Do you ever wonder how people live in other countries? If their day-to-day life looks like yours? Do you automatically assume what their living conditions are? When Gapminder co-founder Anna Rosling Ronlund started the Dollar Street Initiative, she hoped that it would help connect people by showing we all have the same basic needs but different solutions. With her team of photographers, they documented different prized possessions from over 264 homes in 50 countries. Not only do these intimate glimpses into the lives of these families give you a representation of how people live, but the toys their children chose as their favorites will really make you think. India is home to 1.34 billion people, 40% of which work in agriculture. The country is projected to be the second largest economy by 2050, but faces significant challenges. Despite most of the population being young, over 30% of them aren't in employment or education. For example, the Chowdhury family from West Bengal live off $29 per adult per month. The children don't go to school, but their father works 84 hours a week. One kid from this family picked up this plastic bottle as her favorite toy. I'm not sure how you play with a bottle, but her father walks 17 hours a week fetching water, so it's probably important to store that vital liquid. Next up, this Indian boy from Calcutta shows us his favorite toy. Each adult from his family makes $31 a month, working 106 hours per week. The poorest families aren't able to buy themselves manufactured toys. Instead, children play with discarded objects like this one in and outside the home. Given that cricket is India's favorite sport, it's unsurprising this kid chose a homemade cricket bat as his favorite toy. Each adult from his family makes $65 per month, so making toys from scratch is often the only option. But even at higher income levels of $1,125 and $245 per month per adult, these kids' choices were still rather simple. This kid chose some Barbie dolls and this other one chose a toy truck. Unfortunately, there's a growing inequality in India, as the richest 1% own more than the bottom 50% of the wealth, and about 1/3 of the population is living on under $1.90 per day. In a bit more worrying state than its continental counterpart, unemployment rates in Palestine were as high as 27% in 2017. In 2011, it was suggested that about 21% of Palestinians live below $5.50 per day. This doesn't stop the Zayara family from having dreams of buying cement and warm clothing for their children on their income of $112 per month. The prize toy for this family is a plastic bottle, which this kid seems to be having an exciting time with. China, however, has seen rapid economic change with an average 9.5% growth over 20 years. China is the world's largest manufacturing country and exporter of goods, so it's no surprise that this country is the world's second largest economy, with wages sometimes surpassing those in Europe. Unfortunately, taxi driver Tikai's earnings were cut in half due to the popularity of car-sharing mobile apps. Unlike the Palestinian family who dream of warm clothing, the one thing that bothers Tikai's family is that their home's heating system is inefficient during winters. The family of three has been living in Beijing on an income of $2,235 per month, and their son's favorite toy is this military tank model. The economy of the Philippines has improved recently despite low levels of investment, substandard infrastructure, and a small manufacturing sector. Their main sectors are services and agriculture. Filipino grandma Jacqueline Oraga Reyes works as a cigarette vendor for 40 hours a week to support her daughter and 5 grandchildren. This garners a monthly income of $98, of which about half is spent on food. The toy favorite for this household were these action figures. Grandparents Floreno and Davina Castillo also take care of their granddaughter by selling fighting cocks, earning $170 per month but using 90% on food. A plastic doll is their granddaughter's favorite toy, and it even looks like she creates her doll's wardrobe. Now, let's look at the Americas. Haiti was the second country after the United States to free itself from colonial rule in 1804. However, the country has had several challenges, including natural disasters that have afflicted it with chronic poverty. 59% of Haiti's population live below $2.41 per day, and it's one of the most unequal countries in the world. The Jacques family from Central Plateau tries to make it work on just $39 per month. They spend almost all of it on food and spend 20 to 25 hours per week gathering firewood and collecting water, as the nearest safe water source is an hour away. The Pierros are from the same village and survives on $43 per month. They grow 30% of their own food and the rest is gifted to them. Their house has no electricity, toilet facilities, or running water, but it's close to family and in a beautiful place. The favorite toy of these households is a tennis ball and a hoop. Even though Florence Charles and her son live on a higher income of $106 per month, they both live in a tent in a refugee camp made for those displaced by the 2010 earthquake. Her son's favorite toy is a handheld game. In contrast, the United States is the world's dominant economic and military power. In 2017, the median household income was $61,372 annually. Here's a random sample. The McIntyres have an income of $855 per month, which varies based on Mom Laura's workload as a university professor. She, her husband, and 3 kids have been living in a 4-bedroom house that have lead-laden pipes, so they have to use bottled water for consumption and cooking. The toy favorite is this Lego set. On almost 4 times that, Teresa, her fiancé Reginald, and their 2 young children live in a 3-bedroom house in Pennsylvania. They have uninterrupted electricity, in-house water supply, and indoor toilet facility. Both parents work a combined 40 hours a week and are saving for their wedding. The most loved toy in this house is an iPhone. On a bit more sporty side, the beloved toy in the Howard family is a set of baseball gear. The family earns $4,650 per month and saves so they can go on vacations and eventually buy a vacation home. Going a bit more south, Bolivia is plagued by poverty, social unrest, and illegal drug activity despite being rich with resources. It is heavily dependent on the hydrocarbon sector, but low prices and a severe drought has hampered its economic outlook. Nearly 40% of the population live below the poverty line, even with the average annual salary being around $20,548. The projected growth, however, would help the Chiappa family start saving from their $254 monthly income, since most is spent on food, rent, and drinking water. A soccer ball and a stuffed toy are the kids' favorites. The Palma family has a monthly income of $265, and although their 2-bedroom home sits on a dangerous hill, they enjoy the view. The favorite toy is this toy car. Similarly, Colombia is very rich in resources, as it is Latin America's 4th largest oil producer and the world's 4th largest coal producer, 3rd largest coffee exporter, and 2nd largest cut flowers exporter. They face issues with inadequate infrastructure, poverty, and narco-trafficking. On a monthly income of $145, this family owns a house which they built with help from friends and relatives. Their most prized possessions are the children's documents, while their children's prized possession is this plastic ball. And now, Africa. Africa has some significant economic problems, and poverty is at the heart of them. Most of sub-Saharan Africa is in the lowest annual income category of less than $765 per person. According to the UNDP, of the 19 most unequal countries in the world, 10 are in Africa. Many of these countries depend on the agricultural and service sectors. While some have made great strides in their economic performance, others have crawled. Burkina Faso's main resource is cotton, and the country has benefited from mining gold. There is progress, but it's at a very slow pace due to high fertility rates. Approximately 8.4 million persons are living on less than $1.25 per day. The Senegalese has buying food supplies as their next goal. On their $45 per month income, this broken doll is the kid's favorite. For this Burkinabe boy, it's simply an old tire. His family has a $54 per month income and hopes to buy clothes and a mattress. Burundi primarily exports coffee and tea. Despite some improvement, economic reforms haven't been passed due to poor government, high poverty rates, and poor education levels. This kid from the Kabura family finds this dried maize to be more fun than any manufactured toy. This family makes just $29 per month from farming 84 hours per week. Côte d'Ivoire is the world's largest cocoa bean producer and exporter. For the 5 years prior to 2018, its growth rate was among the highest in the world. But a simple shoe is what brings joy to the children of the Conan family, who have a $61 per month income, working 236 hours per week farming and selling cassava. Kenya and Nigeria are 2 of the largest economies in Africa, with an estimated GDP of $70 billion and $594 billion respectively. But income inequality, in particular for hydrocarbon-rich Nigeria, has reached extreme levels. Their choice of favorite toys, however, is not very extreme. These Nigerian children get straight to the point with these wooden poles. Their family earns $124 per month. In the $3,268 per month Kamathi household, a tablet computer is the favorite. Rwanda's economy grew by 8.9% last year. The country domestically funds about 84% of the budget, up from about 36% 2 decades ago. The children from Rwanda seem to find this joy from nature, picking these leaves and this wooden stick as their favorite toys. Their families make $72 per month and $251 per month respectively. For Tunisia, growth has been improving, but the country needs to tackle issues like its 30% unemployment rate. This Tunisian boy's favorite toy is this scooter. His family of 4 lives in a 1-bedroom house with an income of $218 per month. Zimbabwe has a GDP of $1,970 per capita and has been plunged into poverty due to massive corruption and disastrous economic policies. The Antonio family lives on $41 per month, and this retro toy car is the children's favorite toy. The children of the Majuru family get a little more innovative with this handmade ball. They have a $34 per month income and spend hours every week collecting wood and water. And finally, here are a few examples from Europe. Latvia had a difficult time transitioning from communist rule. It mainly exports wood, iron, steel, textiles, and foodstuffs. The average household income is $15,269 per year. The Belosi family makes $480 per month. This stuffed animal was chosen as the favorite toy. This was a similar choice for the Locometti family, who lives on $3,379 per month and are most proud of their photo collection. Sweden, on the other hand, is one of Europe's biggest economies. It is primarily export-oriented, with an average annual household income of $30,553, but with the top 20% of the population earning 4 times as much as the bottom 20%. The Renier family has an income of $2,223 per month, with both parents working a total of 80 hours per week. Their kids' favorite toys are these plastic dolls. This Lego set was the favorite toy for the Vestibakken family, whose income is $4,883 per month. As for the UK, the Oliver family from Brighton lives on $1,890 per month. They have uninterrupted electricity, indoor water supply, and toilet facilities. Spending just 30% of their income on buying food supplies, they're able to afford more immersive toys, like this Xbox, which is one of their kids' favorite toys. Now to Ukraine, which is one of the world's top wheat producers and also exports industrial and energy products. However, corruption is a serious issue, and it's one of the poorest countries in Europe. The Krivkos work a total of 100 hours per week as a farmer and a cleaner for the income of $476 per month. Their 14-year-old son chooses a cell phone as his favorite toy. The Dudakovos' son chooses a Lego figurine as his favorite toy. The family of 5 has an income of $694 per month and has been living in a rented 2-bedroom house and has smells that causes allergies in the children. Not only do these children's choices tell you about how people really live, it also teaches us a few valuable lessons. Firstly, the cost of the toy may not be the best indicator whether a child will enjoy it the most. Secondly, we can find joy in whatever little we have. We can even get very creative and innovative. Also, little is relative. What is little to one person may be huge to another. Finally, it is really income and not location that determines how people live. But even more so, it proves that the levels of global inequality between and within regions has grown substantially. Perhaps we need to rethink some of the ways we can help pull people out of poverty and start finding ways to create a more equal world. As Nelson Mandela once said, we must work together to ensure the equitable distribution of wealth, opportunity, and power in our society. So what do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below.